FPL managers, here are 3 players you need to be avoiding with your Game Week 1 draft. First up is going to be everybody's favourite FPL asset from last season. It is, of course, Bryan Mbeumo. For me personally, he feels like a very easy avoid. Now, of course, it still is up in the air what is actually going to be happening with him. Is he going to be playing for Manchester United? Is he still going to be at Brentford by the time the window closes? Of course, all that is still going on, and that already is one reason why I wouldn't be buying him. Of course, if he does move to Manchester United as well, I think it makes him a really kind of frustrating asset to own. Of course, he's not going to have the penalties. He's also going to be playing under a new system, and with players that do move like this, you never really know how they're going to fit in under those systems. And of course, one of the main ways that Bryan has been getting points is, of course, taking penalties. Now, he's heading into a team where Bruno Fernandes is the first team penalty taker, and they've also got Matheus Cunha, who also can take penalties as well. So you do question what are his avenues for points, of course, if he was to move, and if he is to stay, I don't think it's going to be worth bringing him in until the close of the transfer window. The second player I'm going to recommend you guys don't put in your Game Week 1 drafts is going to be Matheus Cunha. The guy has just moved to Manchester United. Of course, he was the talisman for that Wolves side. Everything went through him. It's going to be a player playing under a new system with, of course, a potentially new position, and I think, you know, he at some point he will become a decent FPL asset, purely because he's one of those players that can just get goals and assists and is very creative and very good for the bonus point system. However, like I said, under new management, under a new side, for me, a very easy avoid. And the third and final player that I'm going to recommend for you guys to avoid on your Matchday 1 drafts is going to be Gvardiol. For me, a very easy avoid. He's probably going to be playing this season at centre-back. Now the club have just signed a Nuri, which means you've pretty much nullified his attacking returns. You're basically paying a premium price for a defender. And as we saw from Manchester City's defensive numbers last season, they weren't as good as they've been in recent seasons, not only in terms of clean sheets, but also for expected goals conceded. So if he is just playing as a centre-back, again, a very easy avoid in my opinion. Of course, if you are enjoying the content, make sure you're hitting that follow button as we're trying to hit 10k before the start of the season.